Assassin, Jermaine Franklin Jr., and shout out to Goodfella TV.
All right, man, the Rising Podcast, they got a podcast on YouTube or a channel, and they was posted on Instagram about Tank fighting Inoue, and Tank commented and says he don't know why this page keep posting ish like this, that the kid's nowhere near, Inoue is nowhere near his weight. They're real pro Tank page. They got, they be having Calvin on there and stuff of that nature. I guess they located down there in Baltimore. So, I mean, it wasn't even Tank and them who brought the idea of fighting Inoue. I first seen it when Inoue's promoter, the one that's in Japan, brought it up. And to be honest, they ain't too far off weight, to be real. They not too far off weight for that fight to happen. If we keeping it all the way funky, they not too far off weight. He at 122, 26, 30. Realistically, Tank ain't that, quote unquote, he ain't that big of a guy. They can meet at 130 pounds. But, I mean, two power punchers. I mean, and then for Inoue to get the respect that he gonna want to get in America, which he don't care because he big over there in Japan and he making a whole bunch of money over there. So, fuck, I care about what some Americans think. I'm making some of the money that they welterweights and heavyweights and shit is like that making. You know what I'm saying? So he making some good money. So regardless, but it just ain't the names out there for him right now. Ain't no names out there for him to get that recognition. And that's one of the reasons people can dismiss him in the lower weight classes, because he don't really have a super fight that anybody in America is interested in. That's the problem. It ain't an Errol Spence. It ain't an Anthony Joshua. It ain't a, Charlo, or it ain't a Benavidez. Nobody cares about the smaller weight classes. That's just what it is. And that's just the God honest truth. Nobody really stunned the smaller weight classes. So, most people you're not really going to get that respect that you're looking for, And a lot of people tend to put him on the pound for pound list in spite of putting other black American fighters on the pound for pound list. Y'all know it's true. And niggas going to act like I'm wrong. It was a lot of dudes that was bagging Chocolito because they didn't want to put other black fighters on the pound for pound list. And I'm going to talk about what Antonio Tarver said about black fighters not fight with no pride no more. It's hard to fight with a sense of culture and pride when the country don't have your back. And the country is built on dividing black people, to divide and conquering them. So it's hard to have any sense of pride or any cohesiveness, camaraderie, or togetherness, whatever you want to use to define that. But a lot of people just back Inoue because they don't want to put the next black fighter up because it ain't a white fighter, because it ain't a Spanish fighter, or it ain't a whatever. It's some people out, I ain't gonna say a lot of people, but some people out there. But can't nobody deny he cold. He cold. He just don't fight in the white weight class. And that's unfortunate. He don't have the namesake down there. I mean, even if you go up to 26, Figueroa, the only big name he hadn't fought. He go up to 30. I mean 26. With Gary Anton Russell fight him, Rigondeaux, Russell, he talking about he want to move up. Really ain't, Leo Santa Cruz, Leo Santa Cruz pretty old. A lot of those guys old. With a Valdez fight happened, I think Navarrete really a 35 pounder, so ain't really no fights up there for him. Rizzo Ramirez, he lost. He lost to a guy that was 6'1" featherweight. They gonna put a Inoue in there with a 6'1" featherweight? I think not. So it really ain't no names up there. At one point you had Valdez, you had Gary Russell, you had Lomachenko, Rigondeaux right around those weight classes. Like I said, Leo Santa Cruz. You had some names there, but compared to what a Wilder, Joshua Fury, David Benavidez, Canelo Alvarez, Charlos, compared to those type of namesakes, they just don't have them. He don't have them. But Tank will give him that name. But is Tank willing to concede, come down 5-4 pounds? you know, to fight the kid. And then it's not like Tank coming down in weight and he can't punch. He can punch. And he got speed. He got foot speed, hand speed. And nobody know how the kid gonna move up in weight. He just not got the 122 pounds. So, and Tank said he getting ready, you know, to come up to 140 or whatever. He's fought as high as 140. So, I mean, for the most part, it'll really be Inoue who need Tank more than Tank need Naoya Inoue. You know what I'm saying? He had a taste of Ryan Garcia. When he feel ready, he can make the fight with Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson, Teofimo Lopez. He has the legacy fights in front of him. Naoya Inoue, and ain't no legacy fights for him as far as that's going to captivate him and put him on a pedestal as a commercial star in America. But I'm not sure he concerned about that. You know, when you that man in Japan, dog, like he the man in Japan. And slowly but surely, boxing is becoming more of an international sport than it is, you know, it's really, you know, really decimated in America. It's not even really considered a major sport. You know, you go to ESPN, you got to go all the way to the bottom of the page. You bet boxing, you got to type that shit in the FanDuel. They don't even have a tab for boxing most nights. So boxing is really becoming, I mean, I think a niche sport is I can't even really say it's a niche sport. But it all comes from these dudes, you know, wanting to continue to rob the fans and all that type of stuff, and not get the fans, you know, what they want, what they need, and what they want to see as far as the big fights. But as far as him and Tank Davis, it is what it is. I mean, they fight. I just think Inoue would just need him for American validation, just as Usyk needed Wilder as American validation. Without, you know, Wilder, there's no keys to the American public. You know, those keys are just sitting on the damn hanger, hanging in the office, whatever. Really, the next guy we actually could see to the heavyweight division as that gatekeeper to, you know, being a star in America is Jared Anderson. If Anderson end up losing and not being that guy, I don't see another heavyweight prospect out there that's American that got a best chance in hell right now. You know? But, so yeah, Tank wasn't the one that called him out. I seen that Japanese promoter say that's something they want to do. And that might be a $20 million fight over there in Japan. And people say, well, Tank would have to he would have to come over here. No, the fuck he wouldn't. It's more money over in Japan than it is over in America for a Tank Davis and a Inoue fight. Bob Arum says that they basically raffle his tickets off like they raffle Jordan's off. He said they can't get his tickets. They raffle them off. He's a bigger star in Japan than Tank is in America by far, from everything I'm understanding. And then the thing on top of that too is America is no longer becoming the mecca of boxing, bro. It's starting to really slide. The only reason why it still is because all the sparring partners can come to America and it's a melting pot. So when you sparring, like AJ sparring in Britain, like he can get some guys like Andrew Tapiti to come in and help spar and all that type of stuff. But the thing is, in America, like let's say one sparring partner fall out, or you just train, you get a plethora of different styles there. But yeah, I mean, Inoue need Tank Davis. Ain't no names on the rise. You know, the Tevin Farmers then kind of moved up and guys like that. So it really ain't no prominent Mexicans down there. You know, it ain't really like a lot of those guys then really moved on. Like he would love to have a Lomachenko down there, a Rigondeaux, a Gary Russell, a Valdez, all those type of guys there. Scott Quigg, those type of guys, that Carl Frampton, he probably would be a bona fide superstar, but he don't have the names down there to accomplish that. I mean, Foden was the biggest name that he had. So, but yeah, Tank Davis, you see how funny pro Tank Davis, fans are, saying, oh, how he want to put him towards the Inoue fight. Why they ain't pushing him towards fighting Devin Haney or Shakur Stevenson or Teofimo Lopez? Why is it ain't a push for him to go up there and fight those guys? I'm telling y'all, when fans don't want to see the biggest and best fights, that's because they feel like they're emotionally invested in the fighter and they feel like it's a real threat for the fighter to lose. Errol Spence fans did all that. I don't want to see it no more, ducking and dodging and marinating it. And then when the fight came around, they act like they was tough. It's like when no nigga talking shit when the teacher and the security in the room, But when the security and the teacher ain't there, the boy quiet as a church mouse in that corner. We know how the game though. That's how PBC fanboys is. You know? That's how they are. You know, loud as a motorbike, but one bust of fruit, grape in the fruit fight. What Jay-Z say? So we know that's what the deal is. So I mean, but you know, Tank shut it down, respecting him. But really going over to Japan, he would have everything to financially gain in that. But I think it's a weak move with him ducking Haney. Oh, dang, Haney, look how big he is, and saying to my Ryan Garcia, look how big he is, and then you going to pick on somebody that's smaller than you. But the kid is dangerous. The boy can box. The boy can throw straight shots, looping shots, Inoue, you know, body shots. It's just how well he can continue to put on the weight, and then how well he can take the punch and how well his punch translates. But the thing about him as a puncher, he can change the speed of the punches. He can rip the shots. He can throw one big shot. He can throw multiple big shots. He can get his feet off. He can get it off the mark with his feet. He can punch and move. The speed. I mean, I don't see why he couldn't move up a couple more weight classes, to be honest. But if he can take the punch and take the physicality of moving up, 26-30, they might have an actual problem on their hand. You know, but it'd be a lot of financial opportunities going out up there. So thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Next subscribe button is the bell icon button. Hit all notifications, increase your chance to get notifications. We go live or drop video financially. Want to support the channel? Cash App $CJ Good 313, Venmo CJ Good 313, PayPal link in the description. Hit the link tree. Find me on Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, the whole nine. Appreciate the love and support. Check out the Box News playlist. Peace.